the room, the art room, and to see people react when they first saw the suit and everything. That was funny to me, you know.
Good, y'all. It's your boy Wavy. So I was doing some research, right? Because, you know, when I look at these most recent interviews and movies of Martin Lawrence, it's obvious that something has happened to Martin Lawrence health-wise. Obviously, he hasn't disclosed that information to the public. His family and himself, they've decided to keep that information private and not reveal exactly what happened to him. But I want you guys, and I'm going to put this in the beginning of the video, but I was looking at an interview where Martin Lawrence was promoting Big Mommas House 3, right? Now, Big Mommas House 3 came out in 2011, and this was the last movie Martin Lawrence did before he took a big hiatus, where I think he disappeared for like 6, 7, maybe 8 years before he decided to come back and do another Bad Boys movie. But when you look at the interview, Martin Lawrence looks like his normal self, right? Like, he's talking normally. He's not talking really slow. One side of his mouth isn't, you know, because now when he talks nowadays, like it looks like he had a stroke, right? Like, he talks with one side of his mouth, the other side doesn't move. He talks very slow. He slurs words. He stutters. And he has this look in his eyes nowadays where he it's like Martin Lawrence like zones out and he's not all the way there. And it's sad to see, man, because obviously Martin Lawrence is a legend. You know, Martin, in my opinion, is probably the best TV series of all time. Some people feel like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is, you know, you either a Fresh Prince guy or a Martin guy, right? Or a Family Matters guy. I'm a Martin guy, right? I think Martin is the, you know, the funniest, best TV series of all time, in my opinion. But with that being said, you look at this interview from 2011, and Martin looks normal, right? Energetic, funny, you know, mouth isn't cocked to the side, not slurring any words. And, you know, obviously Big Mommas House 3, it didn't really perform that well. I think it was the worst one out of all of them. But you look at a movie he did the year before in 2010, it's called Death at a Funeral. I believe Mike Epps is in that movie. And Martin also looked like his normal self in that movie. And then in 2008, my favorite Martin Lawrence movie, which is Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, he was just phenomenal in that movie, man. That movie is hilarious. Monique is also in that movie. I think that's Martin's best, most underrated movie, bro. I don't think people really appreciated Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, bro. That movie was just fucking hilarious, bro. Right? So, I remember before the third Bad Boys movie came out, right? I remember sometime, I think it was in 2014, 2013, Martin Lawrence did an interview, I believe it was with Jimmy Kimmel. And he was in shape, he was very slim, and he basically was saying that he's in shape, he's ready to start filming Bad Boys 3. He's just waiting on Will Smith to say that he wants to do it. Because at the time, you know, Will Smith had other things going on. He was shooting other movies. And I guess Martin, you know, him and Will had a conversation and Martin was telling him he wanted to do it. So he was already training, he was already dieting, and he was already in shape to shoot the movie. And Will Smith didn't want to sign on at the time because Will Smith didn't like the script for Bad Boys 3. So Will Smith ends up agreeing to do the movie years later. I think at this point, this is like 2018, 2019. And at this point, Martin Lawrence gained a significant amount of weight, right? Like, to this day, like, Martin Lawrence, since he's gained that weight that he gained when they filmed Bad Boys 3, where he's literally fat in that movie, Martin has never been able to get back to what his normal weight should be. And I think that's contributing to Martin Lawrence, you know, just not being energetic, man. When you look at the Martin show, Martin was always on 10, bro. He was always super hyper, super, you know, animated, you know what I'm saying? Hilarious, cracking jokes, doing dance moves and all that. Now he's like super slowed down, talks really slow, slurs his words, you know, looks like he forgets what he's even about to say, talking with one side of his mouth, looks like he has a lazy eye now. His eyes are always red. Maybe Martin's smoking some good ass weed. I don't know. But we also have to take into account that Martin is older, right? Like, I'm talking about Big Mommas House 3. Obviously, that movie came out more than 10 years ago, right? So age could be another thing that has contributed to Martin's energy being different. Martin's body language and just him as a human being, him just, being older, man. Maybe he's slowing down. Maybe he's just, even though he looks, he doesn't look old, right? But energetically and how he moves and how he talks, he's talking as if he's like a senior citizen. You understand what I'm saying? Which is like, it's just concerning, man. Like I think Martin right now is acting. He's acting as if like Samuel Jackson, who's in his late 70s, moves faster than Martin Lawrence right now, and that's sad, But when you look at Samuel Jackson, he takes care of his health. He stays in shape. You've never seen Samuel Jackson get fat his whole career, right? Samuel Jackson, he's never really let himself go. Will Smith as well. You look at Will Smith. Will Smith stays in shape. He works out. He eats right. Will Smith is damn near the same as he was when he was doing the Fresh Prince, right? Obviously, he looks a little bit older, but other than that, I'd say Will Smith still looks like he's about 32, 35, right? Now, the fact that Martin is still doing movies, right? It's obvious that whatever did happen to him health-wise, whether he caught a stroke or, some people feel like this is because of the heat stroke that he had when he was filming Big Mommas House. I think the first one, he had a heat stroke when he was wearing the Big Mama suit. Some people feel like that's why he's acting like that. I disagree, because after that situation, he still had plenty of movies where he was acting normal. I think after he filmed Big Mommas House 3, and he stopped doing movies for years until Bad Boys 3. I think during that timeline, something happened to Martin. It's possible he could have had a stroke, a minor stroke, or something happened, bro. Something happened to Martin, and he was able to keep it low key. He was able to keep it from being revealed to the public. Obviously, his family has chosen not to speak on it. Martin himself has came out and said that he's healthy as hell, right? And we all know that that's not true, right? As a matter of fact, when you look at the interviews that him and Will Smith does, you can tell Will Smith looks at Martin, and even he looks concerned when he sees Martin talking, because he knows that's not how Martin acts, right? Something happened when Martin Lawrence took that break from doing movies after Big Mommas House 3. And I think the fact that Martin is still doing movies, they got a new Blue Streak movie coming out. It was just confirmed today that Bad Boys 5 is coming out. I'm happy that Martin is still doing movies, because I ain't gonna lie, in Bad Boys 4, the most recent Bad Boys, I think Martin was fucking hilarious in that movie, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Even though he's slowed down and, he doesn't move as fast as he used to, he's still funny as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody would agree Martin was the star of Bad Boys 4, bro. Like, he completely overshadowed Will Smith in that movie. And, he's still able to crack jokes, and he's still funny, man. So I'm just happy that Martin is still here, man. He is my favorite actor, favorite comedian of all time. And, it does hurt to see whatever he's going through, it happened to him. But the fact that he's still doing movies, the fact that he's still doing interviews, and the fact that he's still out here, entertaining people, man, is a blessing, man. So shout out to Martin Lawrence. But, I hope whatever happened to Martin, bro, I hope he can, recover 100%. And if not, man, shout out to Martin for giving us the great movies and the great Martin show that he gave us, man. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this video. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.